Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels and short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning.
Good morning, hospitality.
We made it another week. Look at you guys.
No,
in your
happy
matching
Monday.
T-shirt.
No, I know. We got the
my
merch.
color I can't pronounce.
Mauve.
It's mauve. Such an attractive color. I love it. It looks great on you, Michael.
It's great.
Standing
Thanks,
out.
Molly. Thanks.
You're looking great. Yeah, what a fun time. I'm glad that we're all kind of matching. Yeah, it's a good week. It's a good week to be back on the show. How are you guys doing? How's the weekend?
Good. It's very cold here right now, so we're getting our one dose of winter. It's 48 degrees, which in Miami is like the world is ending.
Are the iguanas falling off the limbs?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are. Okay. That's the barometer of cold in South Florida.
Exactly.
That's
awesome.
Pretty chill on my side. Nothing crazy. Just looking at castles.
Looking at castles.
I love that that's your job. Like, you can just look at castles all day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You look at castles. I listen to podcasts. Brandy, what's your one liner for your job? Everything.
I don't know.
You run around.
Eyeballs deep in operations.
There you go.
Drown.
Drowning, but with a positive attitude.
Hey man, there we go. Manifestation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good to see you guys again. I know we have a lot to dive into. I could not help but see nothing but ChatGPT articles this morning. So I think it's going to be a lot to talk about because that's all I could see when I was scrolling. So before we do that, I know we have one piece of news to cover prior to getting into the main topic of the day, and it correlates to last week. So Michael, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah. So last week we had the Southwest computer meltdown, 2 weeks ago. And then last week we covered all of the reasons why software needs to be updated. And then the FAA proceeds to ground all flights on Wednesday last week. It was 9,000 delays, 1,200 cancellations, and a mess. And what I heard was that it was one guy who dropped in one line of code that broke everything.
No.
And
Could you imagine being that guy?
Came down to a single person that led to 1,200 cancellations of flights. And then everyone knows if you're flying Spirit, how hard it is to book another one. It could be weeks. So, another mishap in aerospace software. Hopefully this isn't a trend that continues on because all of us in travel love to travel, and that involves airplanes. So I got caught in one getting down to Miami 2 weeks ago that South Florida, their FAA, the region got shut down for some reason. The rumor was there were too many private jets flying in and out that log jammed the system, but that wasn't the public response to the failure. So let's see if we can make it a week without talking about airlines next week.
Brandy, is that true on the private jet comment?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Classic Miami. Classic. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It was all of South Florida. It wasn't just Miami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not all our fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
West Palm, Fort Lauderdale.
Dang. Well, yeah, hopefully you're right. Hopefully we don't see another airline tagline or news heading. But this week is going to be the big one, and I know the three of us have maybe similar / different opinions, so it's going to be interesting and fun. And I know we even had a couple of people reach out and comment on Friday when I posted that this was going to be the topic. So I'm excited. Hopefully everyone is very passionate about their talking points. And we're going to talk about ChatGPT and the impact it will have in hospitality. And for any listeners or viewers, ChatGPT is a AI program, whatever you want to kind of list it under, OpenAI. And yeah, it's kind of taken
Google
the
on
world.
steroids.
Yeah, it's very much so. It's taken. I'm shocked by some of the stuff it's done and what I've seen. So it's a little weird, a little freaky, but keeping it related to hospitality, I think we all have our own opinion. So I will let Michael and or Brandy take the floor first before jumping into any of my points that I have for it.
Go ahead,
Brandy, you want to go
You
first?
can go first.
All right.
You can go.
So it's a very controversial piece and topic, because for the first time ever, the threat of eliminating significant amount of white collar jobs is knocking at the doorstep. And anyone who's used it knows that it's not quite to that point yet. You can ask it questions. It can write scripts for blogs, for your Airbnb listings, for social media posts. It's great to get it 80% of the way there, and then you still need a human to kind of layer over it and figure it all out on top of that. But this version of ChatGPT is only scraped the internet from 2021 and beyond, not going backwards any. So it's got another 20 something years of internet still to scrape and make the learnings better. And there are 175 billion parameters in this version. The next version that's coming out, there's going to be 100 trillion parameters. So whatever its capabilities are right now just pales in comparison to what the next version will be. And then who knows the next version after that. I've played around with it to see what it looks like writing blogs and doing social media posts. It's good. It's solid. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't rely on it exclusively, but it does. I hate writing, so it does cut down on the amount of time writing. Now you're just editing and making sure it sounds the way you want it to sound and not like a computer. So the big question longer term is, how does Google respond to it, and does it help or hurt SEO? Because now a small company like ours can compete in content volume and quality, basically, with any of the big brands that are out there that have been around for many, many years. So I'm sure Google is starting to get smarter at it and recognizing what's AI and what's human. But again, we're just at the very, very tip of the iceberg.
Well, I'll add, sorry, Randy, to cut you.
No, go ahead.
Or jumping in. I was seeing on This Week in Startups, I forget the guy's name, Jason something, but basically OpenAI has now a iOS app in beta, and basically it syncs with Google. So like, it's like, hey, where are the top Mediterranean restaurants in blah, blah, blah city? It gives you a list, and then you like make me a reservation at number 3 at 5:00 on this date, and it'll like pull in all your Google information. So apparently that's the beta, but so sounds like it'll help Google more than be like a takeover of Google than anything. But that's the only comment I wanted to make.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I see a lot of really incredible pros and also a lot of cons. Like, I mean, like anything. And I think that the threat of this taking jobs, like, or how it's going to affect kind of the white collar industry, I don't see that happening immediately. But you're right, like it's knocking on the door in some way, and I don't know if we necessarily know how it will all shape the way that we work. But I think for me, the writing component, I love to write, so I'm the opposite. And I think that how we write is, how we, spread and maintain our culture and, all those kind of things. But if you need something purely informational, I think it's fantastic. Then you don't have to spend, it's something that's like, here is just the basic information that you need about something. But I think in general, the AI kind of like chat functions are going to be really helpful for our businesses when we're launching a new website in March. And the chat feature that we're going to use is Yada AI. And it's just going to help cut down on the calls that we get, because we still get, like, our number one thing that people call in about is rates and availability, even though in the phone tree it says to check the website, even though that's just a huge chunk of time that we could take away from our phone agents, and free them up for answering things faster. And it learns from our listings. So if people have questions that, are, simple or maybe a little bit more slightly complex, they can answer it. It learns from what people ask in the inbox. So I think that that's a positive way. And then that frees up our actual people to answer more complicated, nuanced questions. You can save on staffing and allow them to do more meaningful work. So I'm excited about those capabilities.
Yeah. I mean, don't take our word for it. We asked ChatGPT what it could do to help vacation rental companies. Number one, customer service.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, personalized recommendations. 3, content generation. 4, language support. It can support you in multiple different languages. 5, pricing optimization. 6, sentiment analysis, analyzing customer reviews. And then lastly, marketing support, help create targeted marketing campaigns. So don't take it from us. The AI has spoken. That is how it can help you. Look no further than what the machine tells you it can do.
Well, I'd be curious to see the the application with it into something like Wheelhouse or Price Labs or another dynamic pricing tool, to see if it actually is more of a beneficiator for the operator to have that integration between the two, or just to have a simple dynamic pricing software as normal, like just keeping their current tech stack and not having it implemented for pricing, and rather just customer service or other things like that, and like automating the tasks. Because I'm a believer, like any other tech stack tool, right? Like, it's important to use to benefit and to grow, or to kind of speed up processes, but not to solely rely on. I always say trust but verify. And that's kind of my hesitant with this and this is like another whole kind of rabbit hole topic with it, and trying to keep it applied to the industry of hospitality, is we've already had a lot of fraud with people creating fake listings, fake booking.com properties, or it's not just an Airbnb, it's on almost every platform, some worse than others. But you already have that issue of, now there's fake listings out there. They're getting money before people arrive. They're branding this whole thing, making it look all the way through and through like it is a company. And then someone shows up to the address and it's not there, or it's completely wrong. It's like some mall out in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, what? So this is my big worry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. We had like our very real example is that someone was creating duplicated one of our buildings in Miami on Airbnb. People were booking through Airbnb, so it was going directly to that person, but that person was booking direct on our website and then charging everything back. So the guest had a real confirmation from Airbnb, but it wasn't booked through us. And we were able to obviously figure it out and report it. But that was just like if that whole process can be automated, that's terrible. Like, you really, I think then the kind of like the band-aid to that, or the solution, is that like you have to play defense and have this kind of technology work for you to scan and find different fraudulent listings. But yeah, I immediately was like, it's already combating fraud, especially South Florida and New Orleans are big fraud cities. So it's I'll be curious. There's a lot of new scams, I'm sure, that will come out of this.
Yeah. Well, it's also going into the side of, there's already there's Michael, I think you shared it in our group chat this morning. There's going to be a flood of new content on the internet. And this is like a little bit outside of the industry, but there's going to be a flood of new content from these AI, whether it's ChatGPT in general or other different versions of softwares. And so my concern with it, it's already gonna be harder to stand out. It's gonna give more people the ability to be fake or look like an expert on, like, people are writing LinkedIn posts on this. It's like, you don't, on topics they don't even really know. They just throw into ChatGPT and it gives them an answer. They customize a little piece here and there, and it's like, boom, now they look like a thought leader rather than anything. And it's like, no, that's not. I don't know. There's a lot of dark ways that this could go, and my concern is that it's going to go towards fraud and, I guess, like, yeah, for portraying like a different type of image than what people are actually, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So
I think the stat you were looking for is 90% of content online by 2025 will be generated by AI. 90%.
Yeah.
So the odds of you running into something that was not written by or thought of by a human is insane. Now, how do you stand out as a hospitality company from the machine? Because now the machine has leveled the online playing field for all, basically. We're all going to have the same answers of why someone should book with us because the computer is going to tell us why. But that's where alternative media, podcasts, TV shows, YouTube, whatever, and it really gets to the point of having experiences. Like, that's the differentiator from living this online world, because right now it's just text. In 5 years it's going to be like 3 fake AI generated us talking about some sort of hospitality content.
somebody already sent me one, not of us, but like a robot, like, it's like, hi Will, I'm sent to you from Fred at blank blank company, and they wanted me to let you know that I was like, whoa, this is weird. It's
So
very weird.
that's the tip of the iceberg, right? 5 years from now it's going to be really, really good. So how do we live in the real world and get out of the internet world is a big one. And how do you differentiate your content that you do put out, that you do want to invest in? But I mean, just looking at that stat, I don't know how in the world they came up with it, but I would be a little worried if I was a content writer or a social media manager. Like,
Yeah,
I'd
especially
differentiate your
for
skills.
like smaller companies, especially if you're looking to cut costs in some department. I think big brands are always going to have real people writing their content. But if you're a smaller brand that's trying to, level that playing field, yeah, why would you pay someone when you can get that for free to kind of achieve more or less the same result? You're not looking necessarily for authenticity. Maybe at that point, you're just trying to move up in the rankings. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it also, I mean, I really switch back and forth with my opinion on, like, or how I feel about all of this, because sometimes it gets like a little scary and dystopian. But I think, like with any sort of technological change, there you can, if you embrace it and figure out how to better your business or whatever, that I think is a healthier approach, and viewing things with like cautious optimism, I think is a healthy way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, we go through phases. I know Will over here was all about the Clubhouse phase, big Clubhouser.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of anybody doing Clubhouse in months. Like, skyrocket and then plummet.
Well, there's a lot of, I have a lot of theories on why that happened. And it wasn't just because the world started opening up. I think once they opened it up to the whole world, whether you're on Android or Apple and a bunch of stuff, it got very diluted really quickly. In the beginning, it was like highly curated, really good content, really like exclusive because it was invite only, and everyone only got like 3 invites. So everyone was very careful on who they let in. And then it all of a sudden just got opened up to everybody, and it just became annoying. So there's a couple of things with that, but yes, 100% was a big fan of it in the day.
Well, regardless of your thoughts on it, is ChatGPT that, or I mean, it feels like this is here to stay.
It is, but it's only one of the companies, right? So
Mhm.
I think that the broader technology is definitely not going away. They are obviously like the leader. Everybody, I tried to go on last night and this morning, and they were like, our systems are too overwhelmed. And then it gave me 10 different jokes about like why they're backed up or whatever. So, I mean, this is, I think, definitely the first big player, but I'm sure there will be others that join the fray and will make it better, hopefully. But yeah, I can feel just on my perusals of social media like this general panic. I think that some content creators are
Mhm.
feeling, which is understandable. It's like someone directly coming for your job, and I think it's analogous to the maybe like a factory line worker when they started introducing more robotic technology. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, right now it's only as good as the inputs you put into it. I think in the future it'll know your preferences, your tastes, and then it's like, hey, I'm going to Spain for 2 days. Book me a property I'd like
Mhm.
within this price range. Like it really could just get rid of OTAs first and foremost. Book. I need a flight, a hotel, and a car for my 4 days. I'm in this location. You know, right now you need to tell it this, and that. But in the future, it could be, could be more useful.
I mean, if I don't
Just
have to pay OTA commission fees, I'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
yeah, you cut that down. It's more customizable. Like it is sometimes fun going through and looking at all the different properties, but sometimes you're like, I can't find anything I like, and then you scroll and scroll and you finally find something. But like in theory, this can just make those decisions for you faster once it learns what you want. Right now, you have to be very, very specific with what you put in and whatnot. I'd love to comment on all these comments that are
The
coming
the
in.
the chat's
So
blowing up today.
we're
I
getting a
knew
lot.
I knew
Getting a
we
I
lot.
know.
we picked up a good
So
topic.
so is AI taking over content writers today? No,
And I
it's
don't
not.
think it like I want to touch on this one because I know I have a lot of friends that do content writing, and of course, like my business in general, we write all of our show copy from every episode to the description of the like we have 33 or 35 podcasts that we work with in hospitality. So for us, like no way this can replace someone who's actually listening and part of the conversation. I don't think that is possible. Um, can it help us and go faster? Yes, that's what I would use it for, is to just bang out a bunch of content, make it your own, tweak it, and use that to
Yeah. I will say what I would be worried of is the entry level content writers. Like if
yeah.
you're seasoned, you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
you're going to be okay, at least for the foreseeable future. If you're graduating from college right now and you want to get into content writing, it might be tough because the volume that can be pumped out just by a seasoned professional leveraging the benefits of AI, we'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't go replacing people yet, but it's something to keep an eye on. Like you said, Brandy, with the line workers and blue collar jobs.
100%. Well, I don't know how to keep up with all these comments right now because we're getting blown up with many people that tune in all the time and many people that I've never seen before. So forgive us, everybody, if we can't read your comment, especially if it's longer.
Yeah, go back to Adam's point.
Adam?
Yeah, you just had it up. Basically, it's you give steroids to an average player and they'll be good. You give it to an elite player and they'll break records. That's kind of my point on the content writers. If you're a really good content writer, this can get you 80% of the way there for most of it, and then you can make it significantly better and make it elite. And that's why I would be worried, kind of if you're entry level or an average copywriter, not elite.
Yeah,
I'll
somebody
say,
else mentioned revenue management tools,
yeah. Let me
and I
trying to
thought
find
that
that one.
was really interesting.
Hang on. Thank you guys for all commenting, by the way. This is a good problem for us to have, is to not
I saw Simon saying bold prediction that OTAs will be gone. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no reason to believe that we need OTAs if you've got your preferences in there. Like really, why?
Hmm.
I type it in. Maybe it gives me 3 options. Maybe I say, give me 3 options of places I would like to stay in Barcelona, and it shows you and you click it and you're done. Now, where they're scraping it from, maybe it's an OTA, but it should be direct. So
Yeah. I also really would love, like, kind of something I'm personally working on is, like, the optimization of all of our schedules, like, for our field team. So, like, how can you like, but still it's still I mean, even though we have some technology that we're using, it's still there's a lot of inputs, like, that are, people's times that might change every week. So it would be great to see how this technology can help in that way, and just making everything a bit more efficient. But the revenue managers, yeah, this, like, I
Yeah.
think it's the same thing with the content writers. Like, the entry level kind of evaporates because now you just need someone who knows what they're doing and is, educated in this field to monitor and adjust, but you don't need, like, the bulk of the kind of the, basic work can be done.
100%. I wanted to go back to the point that Damien made. 91% of content gets no traffic from Google. This will only increase. And I find that to be pretty true, actually. Like, we were just doing a
oh, yeah.
whole SEO thing with Hospitality FM's website, and it was like, damn, okay, we're not being discovered, even though we have all of this content. And it's like, okay, now we need to
But it
fix.
does help in your rankings. So if you're targeting the right keywords, even if no one's going to that site, if it's indexed in there, even if it never gets a site visit, it increases your SEO score. I could be totally wrong there, Damien, but
Yeah,
that's my understanding.
I'm no SEO expert, so I'll just let Damien continue to tell me if it's true or not. But Simon, nice way to try it out at
Who
least.
who busted you, Simon? LinkedIn or a colleague?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Someone's like, this doesn't sound like Simon. It's too good. It's too good.
Well, yeah, I think that that is a part that maybe people should take, like, have some solace or hope in for, like, your voice, like, your personality, the nuance, like, all of that still is important when when you're writing content. If you're writing content to just have bulk and you're kind of playing the SEO game, yeah, it doesn't really matter as much. But if you're writing thoughtful content, if the writing is really what's important, that's not going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jason just brought up a point that I wanted to mention as well. It's the creatives that are going to be thriving in the AI world. So creatives, people that can come up with ways that can show you that it's obviously not AI or clearly not AI.
Yeah.
Maybe AI catches up in 5 years, but at least in the foreseeable future, very creative campaigns, very creative writing and content will stand out because there is just going to be a flood over the next few months, much less the next year or two, of AI generated content.
Well, just to go to Chris's comment here about should be a certificate to prove that it's AI or it's not AI. I'm like, again, I think there should be kind of symbol or I don't know if it's a symbol or for some kind of way to like differentiate between AI content and human content, because it will, like, I think Jason made the comment too, like, you can tell on a written post or whatever if it's AI or if it's a human written. It's pretty obvious to understand. But I think there should come to a point where there should be kind of, I guess, agreed upon or some certified thing that shows it's not AI. But then my worry about that is that AI will then be able to fake it. And again, fraud, when we're talking about fraud and scam, like, that's my biggest thing, is always coming back to fraud and scammers, is that, they're going to be able to copy stuff just like people are able to copy a sextant building and put it on Airbnb. Like, it's going to be able to happen.
Whose words they are really matter? I don't know. Like, think about all the people you follow on Instagram or LinkedIn. Are they actually writing it? Does the president write his own speeches? No. So it's already not necessarily fully authentic, the words of the people that you're following. Do the actors follow, do they come up with their own scripts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do the morning hosts on Good Morning America write their own stuff? No. So
do we write our own stuff?
Already generated by someone else.
Yeah, it's true. But as a human, that's the thing. It's a real human being with a real mind. It's not like a computer that has 1 trillion touch points that it's analyzed over the last year or whatever it is. That's the thing. It's like really different from, to me, it's the human capital. And I love that phrase or term of human capital, like, focus on that. But go ahead.
Yeah,
Randy,
but Yeah, I think that like we focused a lot on the content portion and how that might be scary but I think that there is in the other facets of the business just so many ways that this can help companies run more efficiently, save on costs. Like I will be very I you know we have so many great tech partners in our industry. I'm excited to see how they kind of incorporate this into their products or if that's possible.
100%. That's what I like, especially Breezeway. I was already thinking about like, oh, Breezeway. How can you
Yeah.
guys? It's already automated for a lot of the stuff that I've seen and done with that product. So it's like, what more could they do with that with the Chat GPT feature in it? But yeah, there's more comments coming in, so get ready, guys.
I love this. I love the engagement.
I know it's so much more fun having the live
Yeah,
part to it.
Lisa, good point. Like this will leverage the need to be more people centric and people focused. As we interact more and more with technology in our day-to-day lives, the need and desire to interact with humans will hopefully only increase, not decrease.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, people will it'll be like the actual experience of being at the property will become more important because, so much of the experience has already been kind of digitized. So people will be going on these trips looking for that touch of human connection. So, and I'm saying that, and we have virtual concierges, but they are real people. They're just not
They
physically
are.
in the building.
They are real people. Okay, we have a couple more comments coming in, and I think we're good. Yeah. There we go. We've slowed it down.
We can maybe use a little bit of next week to address some additional comments that we missed,
Yeah.
or that will continue to come in. But yeah, this is an interesting topic. It's a hot button right now. We're all trying to figure it out in real time and how it can be useful and where it's detrimental. I'm a little hesitant to just dump all AI generated content on our page because I don't know if Google is going to start knocking everybody that does.
Yeah.
My guess is they will. And they might need to. So if you are using it, still customize it. It's also great for your BDRs from a sales standpoint. You just ask it to make you a list of short-term rental companies in Panama City Beach, and boom, it'll pull up a list. So, if you're on the vendor side, like that's an easy query that you can run if you don't already have those lists. But yeah, there's so many different avenues and facets of this. The revenue management piece we touched on, but I haven't played around with it to do anything but content. Maybe we can bring on Kitchell or somebody to help us understand the implications of it for revenue management.
Yeah. Well, I know I played with a couple ideas with it last night on like, write me a profit. How do I know if my restaurant's profitable and this and that? And it gave me a bunch of stuff. So it seems to know its basics, or at least some stuff, which is really impressive, to be honest. But no, this topic was fun. I love seeing the live engagement. And for a couple of people that mentioned that this is their first time listening in, just know we try to keep this show every Monday live, and it's also around 30 minutes. We try not to go over. We did today due to the, I would say, high traffic volume of communication with everybody. So we really appreciate it. Before we end this episode, just one quick reminder for tomorrow. We're doing our hospitality.fm predictions of 2023. And you're going to see this killer lineup of 8 people, including the 3 of us here on GMH. Going in for 5 minutes each about our predictions for this year. And who knows, maybe somebody on stage might have a prediction about ChatGPT and AI. Who's gonna we'll see. So it could be interesting, but we're really excited because none of us have told each other our predictions. We are keeping them to ourselves until tomorrow. So it's gonna be really fun and exciting. And then of course, shout out to Brandy and Michael for wearing the GMH swag today that I wasn't doing because I am not at home. But yes, really appreciate it. If you guys want to get some swag, we have that in the show notes going into the episode as well. Any final comments from you two on today's episode?
Yeah, one more thing that I've used it for already. I try to write as much of our legal contracts as possible before having a lawyer actually go in behind it, because it's much cheaper that way. ChatGPT can help write clauses. It's pretty
Mhm.
useful. I mean, the cost of a lawyer for an hour is insane. If you can get a contract 90% of the way there and save that much cost, that's going to be helpful, and it's going to hurt law, you know, so there's a lot of implications, a lot of uses for it. It's unlimited, and we're only scratching the surface here. So
Yeah, I'm
100%.
really excited to see, we've had all these like tech panels and things like that over the last year. So I'm excited to see how this weaves its way into the conversation in the next couple months.
My prediction, VRMA 2023, every panel is going to try to talk about ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Every single
Yeah,
one of them.
exactly.
All right. Well, thank you guys for all tuning in and engaging with us live on LinkedIn. It's been super fun. We love it. So thank you and keep doing it. And for Michael and Brandy, I will see you guys again next week.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Logify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.